Hi, I'm Vincent. I work at Exocad. I work on the partial software, so you can get hold of me, vh@exocad.com. So somebody sent in an interesting request for a partial that I have not ever seen before. So this looks to me like a flexible partial, but it actually has relief and a mesh area. And so the initial problem that came up is that making a big major connector, it will recognize the multiple holes, but it will only apply one of the major connector holes. I was wondering if this is really required that it's a hole in the major connector. I'm actually now thinking that it might be, but I'm not sure. Let me just quick show you the. Actually, let me just quick show you the conventional case, of course. I'm just going to do something crude and quick. Let's edit that a little bit. Okay. Okay. So in this case, just apply as is. There are different things that we can do to make this edge of the mesh nicer. So depending on what's needed with these kind of partials, I'm not sure. I mean, with the conventional partial, we use the finish line tool because people want a straight edge by the mesh and then a sort of a fall off around that. I'm not sure what the requirement is for these partials, but let's look at a few options. So once a curve is used, it will become hidden, so it's not accidentally picked up by the next tool, but you can just, of course, turn on this curve and click on it in the pipe tool. And so now basically we can make this sort of edge around it. Oops, what just happened? I clicked off it. Yeah. And then apply that, turn it into wax, and then work with that a little bit. This gives you a reasonable edge over here. I'm not sure, like I mentioned before, if this is good enough in there. Now, just manually draw a curve, an unfit curve, and see if that produces something that we can use. So the thing to play around with here, so this, it looks like there isn't, I maybe pull these in. And also this connection is not good. Anyway, let's just ignore that for now. We could perhaps play with the different profiles. You can also make your own profile or edit an existing profile. I'm not sure, this looks a little bit too aggressive, but there's all these settings we can and that's the thickness, there's the width. And you can go in here and modify the profile and save it as something else. Might be something you can do with that. Not too excited about this, but then we could apply this and then smooth it out. Let's take a look at the original proposal, which was to actually have this embedded inside of a major connector. So let's make this major connector bigger so that the mesh area is actually an island within it, and see what kind of things we can do. With that. So, okay, so now we have the island case. We go here, it will recognize it as a hole. We go ahead and make the hole. And we do the same trick as before, major connector hole curve, we turn that back on, and we want this to become a mesh, so preview and apply. Just ignore all the settings. Now let's go back this mesh riser curve. Let's turn it on. Edit curve. Select the curve. Making this video a little bit small. Too small. Okay. We'll unfit it for the finish line. These are all things that can just be hidden in automatic. I'm just going through these steps to see if we can get to the right result. Let's pull in these curve points. This is also something that we could, there is code in here that will shrink a curve. It's just not exposed in the UI at the moment, so it's another thing that we could consider adding. Because this is a little bit labor intensive, and it would be nice if it was a little click of the button and all even. Okay, so now it gave us a finish line. Not a very good one, but let's see if we can tweak it a little bit. Let's go for let's keep this, well, maybe the standard one. Let's try that. It's a little thicker. And do we have to flip it? Okay, that is actually getting a little bit better. So let's try that again. All right, so this might be, so we have a problem here. It's my problem. But this might be closer to what you want. I think we came in a little bit too much here. I would also probably suggest not having a fall off on the whole of the major connector, but about that. This seems like it's closer to what you want, and then if you would apply this, you could then smooth these sorts of things out a little bit. Don't have the best mouse setup, but so the question is this something that's getting closer to what you want, and what kind of things would I have to do to fit that into a workflow? Anyway, I'll leave it at this and wait for some feedback, and let's go from there. If you actually, I would like to know if there's a name for this kind of partial. That would be very helpful, and how common this is and where it's used. For a while it seemed like flexibles were only in the US markets, but it seems in Germany they're using some sort of milled flexible is becoming popular. So there's all these kinds of different partials that are being used that I wasn't familiar with before. So I'd like to hear more about it. Okay, thanks very much. My name is Vincent VHDXCAD. Thanks, bye.